Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. We're actually going to listen into the Dallas Cowboys
he certainly
press
has a certain way he
conference
likes
here,
to go about it.
beginning
In
training camp.
his mind, with a new team not having preseason, he says is going to give him more time, continuous time to work with this team versus a preseason where you have the big breaks. Now, you don't get to see these rookies in game-like situations, but you certainly get to get your football team prepared, and certainly young guys that we feel like can help early will certainly get that preparation as well. So I think it will be different. The other thing is, because these guys weren't in an off-season program this year, they didn't have the off-season strength and conditioning, which is very competitive. They didn't have the mini camps, the quarterback schools. All of these things are things that we're going to have to do to catch up. We're doing that now as we get them in shape, and then we'll get into the phase 2 and phase 3s where we really start playing football and get them prepared to open up the season.
Lots of optimism heading into the year. Thanks so much for joining us. Stephen Jones here on the Dallas Cowboys training camp kickoff special. When we come back, we'll wrap things up and get you ready for the opener as we head into Cowboys training camp here in 2020.
Well, hello, guys. Mark Holmes here.
This segment was brought to you
We
by
are actually going to watch the training camp opening ceremonies, I guess you want to call it, or opening press conference. We know that Jerry Jones is back. Trent Mache, how are you doing? It's 1:50 a.m. Where the heck are you at? 1:50 a.m. or you mean 11:50 a.m.? Well, at 11 o'clock is when the press conference is actually supposed to kick off. So that's why we're actually here this morning. I'm fortunate that today I'm actually working from the shop and able to be here for this, because this is kind of big, because we haven't seen Jerry Jones in in months. So he's supposed to be here today and so on. So we've got about 9 minutes before it kicks up. Oh, you're in Australia, the land down under. Hey, if you see my friend Michelle's down there in Australia, make sure that you tell her I said hello. Lola from wherever. How you doing, Lola? I'm sitting here just chilling. I just can't wait to see what they're going to be talking about. They're going to be talking about football. But I'm curious if Jerry Jones is going to open up why he's been silenced for so long, why he hasn't said anything in forever. Robbie, what's up, Robbie? How you doing? Thanks, mate. I'll watch later. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, Trent, I'm sorry to wake you up, man. I guess you get notifications early in the morning, that or you're an old man like me and have to get up and pee in the middle of the night. I don't know which one it is, but, I'm sorry to wake you up if I was the one to wake you up and things. So you're from Los Angeles. Lola, hey, well, that's cool. Say hi to my daughter. I'm out there. Jacqueline Gnomes, how you doing? Everybody's waking up and wondering, why the heck is Mark up on here right now? Well, we've got the press conference that's kicking off in about 8 minutes or so. So we're here to just watch and get ready for this thing. So we're sitting here, of course. That's what we want another one. We want another one of those. Black Belt 721. What's up, man? We've got the Dallas Cowboys training camp opener press conference. Jerry Jones is back from Alaska and Seattle and everything else, and he's supposed to be at our press conference today. So it'll be interesting to see what he has to say. Let's see if we got
training camp brought to you by Ford, and this is not Oxnard. This is not even the Star.
Nope.
I'm Brad Sham with Mickey Spagnola, and we're each in our home office, studio, closet, whatever it is. And so, since I'm
just
here
got
by
done
myself,
watching
I
it.
Probably don't need this.
That was the
as
preview.
As it is, but Mick, you would have.
They're
thought
actually
with all the
kicking. That was
training camps that you and I
basically
have between us that we
Stephen
would have
Jones
seen
getting
just
out
about
ahead, which
everything.
is kind of surprised me that he was doing a preview.
God willing, maybe now
let's see
we've
what we
seen
got
just
here.
about everything.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brad. I keep saying during this time, we lived long enough. We thought we saw it all, and now we're seeing a little bit more, because we certainly haven't seen training camp like this. The Cowboys certainly haven't seen training camp like this.
Did I mess up?
Having it for the first time at home the entire time, really different. And I think what folks see from training camp, they're going to see how different
Does
it really
Bushfire,
is.
one of these trolls, try
really
to troll
amazing
me?
to think that first of all, it was in this
Don't
calendar
know that
year
one,
when
Frost
we all
football.
first really met Mike McCarthy. Seems like several years ago. But it was just last week that he got on.
So did I mess up and then it was 11 o'clock Eastern and not 11 o'clock?
For the first time, and Mick, when he had his
if I missed it, I'm gonna be really upset this morning.
The other day, since way back in early
so
March,
I thought it was supposed to kick off at 12, but maybe I was wrong.
That he has talked about in regard to the challenges that
and
they've
that
had
would suck.
Just to be able to get to this point.
Yep,
I
did.
It really has gone very smooth. I'm very impressed with our players.
I am
and
a
our
freaking
staff
idiot.
And just the way everybody has, we've created the flow that you always look for this time of year, because the days are not as long as they're going to be here.
So much for this live
next
stream.
week, and so you want to get into that rhythm and flow from meeting to practice field to correction, and all the things are involved. But
okay, so I've got mud on my face, okay? I missed it because I thought it was 11 o'clock Central because I'm in Eastern. So sorry about that, guys. Sorry to get you out here all excited. So now I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it my damn self because I missed the whole thing. And I'm going to have to wait until after it renders because it's, oh no, actually we can, hold up. We might be able to rewatch it. Hang on. Let's see if it'll go back.
If my man was wearing this, I would be all over him.
Okay, screw your man.
That smells really...
Let's see if I can go back and rewind it.
When the dust finally settles.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to watch it now because I missed it.
Confetti falls. All that's left is the light.
So if you missed it like me,
shining
we can
through
rewatch
the victory, gleaming off the prize, sparkling off a ring.
Your Cowboys are the champions.
What's often forgotten is the dirt, the grit, the attitude that led to success. A foundation that was waged in silver and coated in blue.
Thank you.
Generations of predecessors who paved the way for a new champion to rise. It's never easy. It's not supposed to be. It'll take everything you got. Every step, every rep, every second from here on out, there's one goal in mind. It's time to stir up the dust.
Amen.
It's the 2020 Dallas Cowboys training, even the draftees in that secondary. But what are some of the things that those new additions are going to have to do heading into training camp in order to make an impact in year one?
I think really it's just adjusting to Mike Nolan's system. Mike Nolan is a guy who has said that he wants to keep the 4-3 defense, but he's really a 3-4 disciple. So how does he marry up what he believes in, that 3-4 with the 4-3 personnel that they currently have? You've seen the additions
back and
with
enjoy,
Gerald McCoy and Dante Poe coming in. They wanted bigger defensive tackles so they could allow their linebackers to run and chase. LVE moving in the middle linebacker, having Jalen Smith being able to play on the weak side. This enables them to run and chase, to play the style that Mike Nolan wants. And then I think the big thing with the changes in the secondary, they want to produce more turnovers, playing more split safety coverage, cover 4, so they can get eyes on the ball and hopefully generate more turnovers off tips and overthrows.
You had Clinton Dix, who had 2 interceptions last year. Trayvon Diggs, a draft pick who had 3 interceptions during his season with Alabama. But, Dane, when you're talking about that draft class, of course, Diggs coming from Alabama. You have Tulsa's Reggie Robinson, a pair of corners that are going to try and make an impact as rookies. You can throw Bradley and I in there on the defensive side of the football. But what's a realistic expectations for those defensive rookies heading into their first year in Frisco?
East side.
Well, it's always tough when you talk about rookies initially getting into the league. We have a brand new coaching staff here, but you throw in everything else with the pandemic and learning the playbook and getting the execution down with the coaches and that hands-on training with, an abbreviated camp and, the preseason's different. It's going to be really interesting to see how these guys can adapt. But when you talk about the defensive players that this team drafted, you're talking about players that were seniors. They were veterans for that team. Trayvon Diggs for Alabama, one of the best press man corners in this past draft. What he did for Nick Saban in that squad, as a former offensive player, he just had a way of getting his hands on the football. And that was the same thing with Reggie Robinson, a guy that the ball production was there.
Okay,
and so I think, initially maybe on the surface, you don't think that we're going to see a lot of production, a lot of impact on these guys because they're rookies, because it's everything going on with the season and the abbreviated camp. But when you look at their veteran presence that they offer for being rookies, for being first-year players, the ball production they had in college, and just their overall skill sets, I think we're going to see
some of their base package stuff. I think.
Hold up. I want to get to the meat of that.
And he started making some not part of.
Did I admit?
You talk about the fact that it's at the start.
Okay.
And stubborn, but
I guess we're not actually going to hear them, are we? Well, damn, this is a disappointment. I thought we were going to see Jerry Jones and crew. So this is the kickoff show. All right. I don't have time for all this. I actually want to hear Jerry Jones speak, so I guess we're only going to get Stephen Jones speaking. Well, damn, that's a disappointment. How can we lose
what's
somebody?
up, guys? Josh Schneider here. And what I have is my most recent bank statements for 2020.
How can we lose somebody with no name who has no spirit? Eagles Nation, we stand. Nation. What? I swear, Eagle fans, the Cowboys schedule and roster's better. Okay. It hasn't started. Okay, so this was just the preview. That's what I thought it was. So it starts at 12 o'clock Dallas time. Ah, damn. So we got an hour? Ah, shit. Okay, if that's the case, I'm all screwed up then. I'm all screwed up. Forgive me, guys. So, it starts at 12. What's happened to my Cowboys family? They clickbaited me. They got me. They got me. Damn. Freaking Dallas Cowboys clickbaited me. Well, I tell you what. So, you want me to, maybe I should just go back, do some work in the shop, and then come back here. But, I actually got something new here.
But maybe now.
So they screwed us. Okay. Eastside Herald, I see you there, buddy. I got something new that finally came. That's part of Teesprings. And we're going to do some giveaways with these. Uh-oh. Our very first. Okay, now, I don't feel like listening to Mickey. Now, listen to me. I know some of y'all believe that it's all bullshit, the coronavirus and everything else, right? I got that. Me, I'm not going to take a chance. Worst case is it's all bullshit. I wore a mask for nothing and I live. If I don't wear one and find out the shit's real and I die, well, then I lose. So, for those of you like me who believe in it, I got a new mask. Check it out. Check. Let's see. Let me zoom up here. Look. Bam. Get Philly. Look at that. Get Philly mask. Okay? It's starting now? Oh, crap. Hold up. Why is it I don't see it? If you're saying it started now, I've been bamboozled. Yeah, I've been bamboozled. CeeDee Lamb, the boys are back. It's not like I'm so confused. I'm so confused. You're still waiting on your wine glass, man. Listen. It's a big investment to get those wine glasses. Okay, Trolling 101. But anyway. That's our new one. So I'm going to be doing some of these for giveaways on our Friday show. So let me actually check it out. Let me see how you guys tell me. Actually very comfortable. Got my blue. There you go. What's up? What do you think? Oh, it's live now. Damn, it's not on the. Oh, damn. How come it's not live? It's 11 a.m. Am I wrong? You gonna catch the Rona? I'm trying not to. Okay. It says live, but I ain't got nothing. Jerry's talking right now? Okay, hold up. Well, some reason on the, go to Cowboys APP. Okay. Oh, I don't have the Cowboys app. Damn. But I don't have the Cowboys app. Shit. I want to know why it's not on their YouTube channel. And it's still not on. Says it right there. I'm missing it. Damn. I did check YouTube. That's the thing. I've been on the Dallas Cowboys homepage. Let me refresh it. They had that preliminary one. First look at CeeDee Lamb. Not live. Oh, let me check them. Fuck. Excuse my language. Oh, waiting for Dallas Cowboys. Okay. So you guys were fucking with me, huh? Y'all were fucking with me. Later, peace out. Funny thing is I'm sitting here with my cell phone. Let's go Cowboys. The funny thing is I've got it here on my cell phone on it, where we're waiting for the Cowboys. Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
It up a little bit from time to time. I'm very proud of the platform that we have with the Dallas Cowboys. Consequently, just as it presents a motivating thing, just as it presents opportunity, it presents challenges as well. We're going to address those. The eye is on the Dallas Cowboys, not only because we have a new coach, but because we have outstanding players. We have a great tradition. And we have something to behold in our fan base and interest in us across the country. That presents us challenges. As you know, we all know across the country. That presents us challenges. As you know, we all know what's going on in this country today. There's a 50-50 debate about whether or not to go back to school or not. There's a 50-50 debate or so about wearing masks. All of this presents challenges because we've asked this country in our own way, look at football, look at the Dallas Cowboys. All of this will be a part of the challenge. It starts right here today with our new coach, Mike McCarthy, and of course these great players. But our number one interest are the fans of the Dallas Cowboys. thank you. And then, of course, Mike is here with us today virtually, and Stephen is here with us. And we're going to be talking about the very thing that we're here to get ready, and that's this football team and our players. We were all together when we were in the draft, and we spent a lot of time on it. Frankly, we were all together when we went to the Combine. We were all together at the Senior Bowl. Many of us were together when I was visiting with Bob McNair's family down in Houston when we honored him. So we've had really a lot of time to be together this year as we've gone forward and where we are today. But we've got some adjustments to make. We're going to make them with enthusiasm, and we're going to make them with can-do. The Dallas Cowboys plan on playing all of our football games, and we plan on playing it in front of our fans. So with no further ado, we'll take questions from you on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, it's David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Jerry, this question's for you. You were talking about the challenges and the climate in the country and the platform you have. You said in the past that while you understand players who kneel aren't protesting the anthem or showing disrespect to the flag, your policy is that you stand during the anthem, toe on the line. Does that remain your policy, or have the events of recent months altered your outlook?
Well, everybody in this country knows where I stand when and where the Cowboys stand when it comes to the flag. Millions of people, that represents so much of what's in the past in their lives, whether it's losing loved ones or whether it be an immigrant that came over to America and made his way and fought and fought and fought and created a life we're here today. So we all understand, and everybody understands where I stand with the flag. But everybody also understands where I stand on backing our players, the Dallas Cowboy players. My greatest fear, frankly, is because 2 years ago, when this was a focal point issue at the time, standing or kneeling, 2 years ago, our players, we all came together, and we had many on that team that were thinking about one way and many, many others that were thinking about another way. And I asked them to look at it from the standpoint of not only team, but look at it from the standpoint of the uniqueness of what we can do with the Dallas Cowboys. We basically came up with a way that we would stand. We came up with a way that we would go forward. The team selected leadership. They met with judges, many judges. They interviewed those judges. The judges interviewed the players. Our players went on with police and went out on patrol and went out and were involved when police duty were being performed to get a better understanding from that. And they did commit with everything that we could do to give them support. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. And we basically spoke to this when the issue was really at the forefront just a few months back. And we spoke to this. And consequently, I'm so proud of how our players addressed that at the time. And that was our statement because we had it. We had many examples that we could present in programs about where we stand regarding social justice at that time. That was then, and that's how we reacted then. I'm so proud of Dak the other day. He made a plea to the governor of Oklahoma. Those are the active aspects of being to address and help the issue of social justice. I'm so proud for the Dallas Cowboys and proud of Dak for taking that stance. I don't speak for him. He's going to be on here later today, and he'll speak for himself in this area. But those are areas of doing something about it. The key word about your question, David, is a word called grace. Grace. That was then, 2 years ago. This is now. We have had very sensitive times. I don't need to share that we're also embroiled in a very other sensitive time with the challenge and the war literally we're on with the virus. These are very sensitive times. I have nothing to prove as far as where I'm standing with the flag and where the Cowboys stand. I have nothing to prove regarding my players and my support of our players. What I do want to show and want us all to be a part of is a word called grace. Grace. Not only grace in our actions, but grace in our understanding, where they're coming from. I want our players to understand the perception and where they're coming from regarding the flag and the sensitivity there and the many memories there. And I want our fans to understand and better do because of what's gone on over the last few months. And want them to understand where our players are coming from there. And they do not feel like that the ones that want to basically do that, kneel, they do not feel like they're dishonoring the flag. I'm going to have grace. I've had grace. Many of you have written and criticized me for having too much grace and understanding regarding our players, and I probably have. And I'm going to have grace regarding the people that are sensitive about our flag. Somewhere in between there, as the weeks, as we get together with our team, as we discuss with the team, somewhere in between there is how we're going to handle it.
So, no answer.
So, Jerry, basically, you have not made a decision if the players decide to kneel, they'll be off the team or they'll be prohibited from kneeling?
Clarence, we're going to have grace when we sit here and look at how we're going to handle it. I haven't met to the detail and in depth with our players that I want to. I have talked to literally double handfuls of very, very engaged people. I have had input from ex-presidents. I've had input from presidents. I've had input from a cross-section of our players, former players, and I will continue to have input. This is a very serious matter. We've asked for the platform. As I mentioned earlier, we have the platform. We're going to show grace. I'm going to show grace, and I'd like to show that kind of grace in a sensitive matter that comes up. Everybody's genuine here. I'm giving everybody the benefit of the doubt relative to any decision that I make. Clarence, as you know, I have one thing. My job is to run the Dallas Cowboys. My job is to do what's right. We've asked for all of this interest, and we've asked for our players to give everything they've got. And I want to sit down when I have an issue and I have a decision to make. I want to show the world that I can do it with grace and come up with the right solution. I don't know what we're going to be faced with here a month from now or 2 months from now. When it happens, I'm giving you the backdrop of how I'll make the decision at the time or encourage our players. Our players have always been open ear for anything that I have to offer, and I've been open ear for what they have to offer, and that's what we'll do.
Have you had a chance to talk to Don Terry Poe and Gerald McCoy, who, somewhat asked you to make a statement to them?
I have not personally talked to them, no, at all. As you guys know, you don't expect me to, just because you say, let's hear from you, Jerry. You don't expect me to pop up and hear from me, do you? I know you don't. And so that's not the way it works. Am I interested in what any player, am I interested in what any of our media, am I interested in what everybody has to say about any issue? You bet. And I have rabbit ears, I really do. And so having said that, I am listening. And so the point is that we will do it in the way that we think that is as sensitive and has as much grace for the genuine feelings of everybody in mind. The two players you just mentioned, there's no doubt in my mind. We've just gotten acquainted. Frankly, we've never had a one-on-one visit. I accept everything as being genuine when they say it, and I know they were genuine. They'll want to see grace from me.
Skyler Dixon with DAPE. Jerry, what's your sense of Dak's mindset without
Well, the contract negotiations, I don't even want to be glib or trite when I say that's a part of professional sports, is sitting down talking about the money. That's a part of that. Dak is outstanding. He's probably one of the top people that I've been around for his age and his cumulative experience. He's one of the top people that I've been around as far as being aware, understanding. I've never heard or said anything that I didn't think Dak had necessarily weighed or heard before. We think he's outstanding. We think he's our quarterback of the future. We just couldn't get together at this particular time. I think it's easily worth noting that a lot of people this year in the franchise mode didn't get together. One of the biggest reasons is the backdrop of the COVID. One of the biggest reasons is the economic issue. I've just spent weeks and weeks, a part of this rasped voice on the phone, talking with NFL and the Players Association, weeks and weeks working through the economic consequences. And candidly, nobody knows what's going to be there next year, or the next year. And frankly, we all know that what we were talking about in Dak's case was the next year and the next year and the next year and the next year. So all of that came to bear, and this was just a less than stable time to be talking about serious, generational, if you will, to use Dak's term, dollars in an unknown period of time looking forward. That certainly was one of the issues.
Jerry, it's Todd Archer from ESPN.com. You said a couple of times already on this that you expect to play a full season, not only at AT&T Stadium, but at the entire schedule. How confident are you that can actually happen with what the NFL has put in place with its protocols now and what will happen during the regular season?
Well, when I look at our sport, I think there will probably be a normal year. You'd approach 75,000 players playing in college. And then I look at the players that we have in the NFL, and you'll have somewhere in the 3,000 participation there, with about 300 or 400 of those coming from the last couple of classes or the last class out of college, to give you an idea of the scope of the players. And so when we sit down and think about
holding on to
football, you're talking to a biased person regarding what football does. You take most things away from me if you say it's not important. John Madden and I, after a ball game where he was the commentator, went to his room and about 15, 20 years ago, and we were sitting there and I was feeling good. We'd gotten a win, and I said, John, am I just completely blown out of proportion? Is this as big a deal as I've got it blown up to be? And of course, John said, Jerry, it's as big a deal. Our country really is and does place football, whether it's misplaced or not, at a very high level. Consequently, to answer your question, it is important. I think it is important individually, but I think it's important in the country. I know the debate going on. I can easily see how X percent of the people would be for it's just not worth the kinds of effort, risk, whatever that's going to go on. I believe it is. The NFL can be a exciting,
Gene, you're falling asleep.
Exciting,
come on, man.
It can be an inspirational part of how we address COVID, not only the remainder of this year, but as we go into 21. So it's a big enough deal for me to look at costs in every way. And obviously costs usually are associated with financial. But it's easy for me to justify for the long term of interest in football and the long-term thing that competitive sports bring to the table,
Eddie,
and what it can bring
can't disagree with that,
the
Eddie.
country. It's worth it to make the effort for us to have a complete season, and I want to do it in front of our fans.
Mike, you've had them together in the building for a few days now. How do you think of what do you think of the way your players are handling it, and how do you evaluate their readiness to go on the field?
Oh, they.
We're off to an excellent start, no question. Today was the first day we were able to have the whole team, both offense and defense, on the field for a phase 2 workout. So, and I think like everybody is players, coaches, support staff. We're really looking forward to Friday for our first real practice. But it's the strength and conditioning phase has gone very well. We're making progress. In a lot of ways, this would be, kind of the end of an off-season program, and we're probably a little further along than we would be as far as my experience and awareness of how an off-season program would end. So I feel really good about where we are. And today and tomorrow we'll finish up, an installation phase of number 7 and 8, and then we'll kick it into high gear on Friday.
This is the current CDC, current guidelines by the state of Texas say that you can play in front of a 50% capacity. Is your intention to follow whatever the state guidelines are at the time, whether it's 50%, whether it moves up to 75%, or just talk about, you've mentioned wanting fans in the stands, just how you will, what your protocol will be with that this season?
I can answer that real succinctly. We'll adhere to all protocols, and we will adapt them to the uniqueness of our stadium. What's up? And that's within the protocol. And we have a real unique situation, and I think that we're going to be able to really have a great experience. I think that our safety precautions that we're doing won't be unfamiliar to a lot of people when we look at the general protocol of the country, or we look at how you get together numbers of people. We will have our challenges. The people that will be there at their own volition, just as the players that are on this field out here for the Cowboys are here because they have chosen to be here. Our fans will be in the stadium because they have chosen to be there. I am completely confident that if I've ever seen a general population have had a information of where the issues are, where the vulnerabilities are, how to conduct yourself, the do-right rule relative to the person with you and beside you, and that you do or know or don't know. I'm confident that we've got a very educated situation and that our fans can come and have a safe experience at our stadium, along with, of course, our players having the safety there required on the football field.
How many fans do you expect to have? How many fans?
I don't have an expectation. We, as you know, you're dealing with a little bit of a moving target, and I'm not trying to diminish the moving target aspect of it. But we're very unique in that we have the haircut comes when we get rid of Corona. We have out there that give us some extra control. We also have a stadium that has 3 million square feet in it. And the fans going in the southwest side do not get near the ones going in the northwest side. As a matter of fact, that goes on like that all the way up until a very reasonable close. When you look at a number in the stadium, don't think that number's getting together out there. They're not. It'll be in pods of possibly 5, 10, 15 different people, but there'll sometime be a spread, not quite as far apart as we are right now, Clarence, unless you're in the next room. But our stadium is well suited to put together numbers of people that have elected to come and want to watch the Dallas Cowboys play. I won't speculate on a number.
I'd like to ask each of you about the bubble that's been created out there during training camp. Which players were involved in leading that effort, and what's the benefit of it, if each of you could address that?
Players bubble.
Who was that directed toward?
Mike, you talk about that.
I'm sorry, I could not hear the first part of the question. Can you repeat that, please?
It's about the bubble that's been created during camp for your players, even veterans, staying the Omni to create an environment where players are not unnecessarily exposed and others.
Well, I think a lot like just what Jerry just talked about. We're extremely blessed to have a tremendous facility here, and I can't say enough about Todd Williams and his staff and the whole football operations, the way they've been creative as far as spreading out our meeting space in our video department, and just really giving us the exact same teaching resources that we would have in a normal year. So, and that's just a real credit to Jerry and the Jones family because of this facility gives us that opportunity. And then with that, being connected to the Omni, it's frankly just natural that we do the best that we can to create an environment to keep our players safe. Plus, with the education and keeping up with the current protocols, and as we continue to go through this challenge of battling COVID, that there are updates and upgrades, and it's only going to make us safer as a football team, and frankly, it's only going to make us safer in a personal realm of educating our families and bringing the same the same focus and education into our own home. So just very fortunate for the setup that we do have here. So we're looking at trying to create Oxnard type environment here at the start, and I think we've knocked it out of the park, and our players have totally bought into it and are excited about it, and we're off to an excellent start as far as handling this challenge.
This question is for Dallas Morning News. My question for all three of you guys. During the summer, we've had a lot of protests, and obviously COVID has risen the numbers. How much did you communicate with your players just to get a feeling for how they've been feeling about what's been going on over the summer? I wish all three can answer if they can.
Mike.
Is that okay? I thought that I would say that, the communication with our players, not only as far as the personal nature of the challenges of COVID and everything else going on in society, it's been really a continuous conversation. We've had the opportunity to work throughout the spring on virtually on working on the football, really focused on the schematic aspect of it there early, and then frankly near the summer, and as guys were continuing to film their workouts and send them to the individual coaches. Obviously there's a lot of conversation going on between player and coach and support staff. So I thought our communication network was outstanding, and frankly, you can see it once the players arrived here that you didn't feel like you missed a whole lot when it came to the playbook, and then also the connection that the new coaches were able to make with their specific players.
The thing I would add to what Mike says is I think the key word's embrace. I think, this organization, when the commissioner announced we were going to move forward with free agency, we embraced it. I think we got our job done. I think the same thing holds true for the draft. We jumped in it with both feet. We didn't sit around thinking it might get postponed. We just embraced it. I think the same thing goes for the virtual offseason, and then ultimately coming in here the way we have, our communication with our players, with our staff, as Mike mentioned, whether it's been Will McClay or Todd Williams, I think we've utilized all of our resources and assets. If you move around the building, you see meeting rooms and concourses in the Ford Center. We've really been able to, adhere to what the league's trying to accomplish with social distancing, giving our players every chance to stay healthy, but at the same time have success. And, my hat's off to our organization, our coaching staff, et cetera, in terms of our players, in terms of how they've embraced it. And I think at the end of the day, that's how you have success. It certainly worked in free agency. It worked in the draft. And I see it working here. I think our players feel very comfortable that they are in a safe environment. As Jerry said, they had choices in terms of opting in or opting out, no different than our fans have. And, our goal is to keep every environment as safe as we possibly can. And, this is going to evolve. There's going to be things that change every week, week to week, day to day, that we have our eyes wide open on how we can be better as an organization and make it better for our players, for our staff, for our fans, for the media, the whole thing. So, I just think we've got a great infrastructure in place to have success, and I think it's going to pay off for us when we start playing our football games in the fact that we're going to be ready to move forward.
From my perspective, we didn't get our mini camps in. We didn't get our rookies in after we drafted. I actually, because we were of talking to, had so much work we could do virtually. I talked to more players before the draft than I ever have. I'm talking about future potential players. This was a record for me, FaceTime with players. I have talked with our players now. I have talked to them about their off-season testing, if they have issues, whatever they may be.
But he said
I've
he
talked
didn't
to them
talk to
about
Gerald
personal
McCoy
issues,
and
whatever they may be. I have talked to them about opting out or opting in, whatever they may be. I have actually probably spent as much time as I have in my career talking to the makeup of things that you do when you're the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. And so virtual, yes. A lot of time on the phone. I think people that are around us and around me, I probably spend 6-7 hours a day on a telephone during all of this particular time. And so, believe you me, 99% of it or 90% of it directed toward how to put the Dallas Cowboys on the field, how to have an NFL to put it on the field with this year, and how to do it in a way that our players can excel and produce what we want to for our fans. At the end of the day, we want great games, and we want great games starting out there in the Los Angeles Coliseum. Are we going to be ready to go if for any reason they call us a week before and we've got to do it a little differently? You bet we're going to be ready to go. That's the way we handled the draft. There wasn't one thing normal about this draft other than actually sending your name in. But other than that, it was all so different. And I even had Jamie Foxx on one hand talking to him on the line while we were during the middle of the draft. And so this was a unique time. It can be an exciting time. It's one that I really do want to be able to say, man, I was a part of something very different and very special, 2020. What a time to remember. And boy, did we do some good. That's what I'd hope to say in the future.
In regards to different times in the draft, this is Christy Scales with Cowboys Radio. Stephen, how do you go about, in regards to player personnel, you and Will, putting things together to evaluate players, college players, when so many conferences continue to cancel their seasons and or some of the top prospects opt out and decide not to play?
Well, I think until you understand exactly what the landscape's going to be, then you're a little bit have a hand tied behind your back. But at the same time, I think we're going to have to be prepared to go back and look at tape from last year on some of these players because the way it's headed right now, it looks like some of these schools may not play. I saw an interesting quote from Joe Burrow that he may have been right now out interviewing for business jobs rather than playing for the Bengals had they not had a season last year. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a challenge. But just as we did in the draft, I think our personnel people are going to embrace this and figure out how to do it. If we have some conferences playing and others are not, then we'll have to have a strategy that addresses the players on the teams that don't play football this year versus the teams that do. I can guarantee you one thing is we'll get prepared, and we'll certainly, get in there, roll up our sleeves, and get the work done and do what it takes to evaluate these players. Everybody will be having to work through the same things that we're having to work through, and I'm betting that our group will embrace it and get it done.
Stephen, why didn't the deal get done? Stephen, ultimately, why didn't the deal get done with Dak before the deadline? And how much more difficult will it be to get something done next year when the economics seem to be or could be even worse with the cap?
Well, I think Jerry hit on some on some very significant points in terms of the challenges that we were looking at. I mean, with the, obviously with the virus going to effect, and we were very aware, that it was going to ultimately probably affect the revenue, which ultimately affects the salary cap. That was a challenge. You certainly, when you look at the long term of the NFL, you feel so optimistic and great that, our revenue streams are going to grow. So that's certainly sitting out there. Everybody was pretty much aware at the end of the day that, the term of the deal was a big part of this. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the way we think about Dak. Dak and I had a great visit right there at the deadline. He's so fired up about this team, about this season, and about our future. And we ultimately know that we're going to have to figure out how to get this done. I'm more convinced than ever that we will get it done, but because of the moving parts that we were dealing with the virus, of course, you throw in some other deals that were done, which were certainly not down the middle in terms of being normal or a normal contract. It just made for some challenges, and each negotiation's unique.
What's up, Law?
And so
How
at
you
the
doing?
end of the day, I just think we've got to continue to work at it here. We obviously can't sign a deal during the season, but it doesn't mean we can't continue to think about it and think of ways to get it done. It's certainly better for the Cowboys and hopefully Dak that we ultimately get something done. But he's very convicted, and that's what makes Dak, I think, a great football player. Is he certainly has a lot of confidence in himself. Certainly believes that this will ultimately get done, as do we. And it's certainly better for us in the long term. We can have the flexibility we need to keep what we believe is a really good young football team together as we move forward.
Stephen, has there been any conversation at the league level about once practices start about expanding the rosters during the season to allow for replacing players who might test positive? Yes,
I think our league at the staff level has done a great job. We certainly have, a COVID exemption list that gives us a lot of flexibility. They've given flexibility to bringing players back from these lists as well as the injured list back to your team. As you know, they've expanded the practice squad to 16 players. So they're giving teams flexibility to certainly work through the challenges that might come up. I don't think anyone's naive enough to think that you're not going to have some challenges as you move through the season. But I do think they've put a lot of mechanisms in place that I think can help us get through this season in a very positive way and pull it off. I think, you look at our first couple of weeks that we've had here with our players. I think it's been great. They've certainly taken care of their business. It's been business as usual as far as them coming in every day, and we hadn't had any episodes. So at the same time, we know that could be a very real possibility. And as I said, the league's put a lot of lists in place and some flexibility in place to move players on and off that list to help us work through the season. And of course, they're going to put some committees in place to look at situations that might be very unique. So, my hat's off to our league, to our staff. They've come up with a lot of forward thinking into what might happen. At the same time, I'm sure you can't think of everything, and we know that we're going to have some flexibility, and you've just got to deal with whatever the issues are at the time and move forward.
Let me make a comment here. Am I on? Okay, is it on? Okay, let me make this comment. When I came into the NFL, Herschel Walker had a guaranteed contract, and we hadn't been able, the Cowboys, have the money to post the money with the league to secure the contract. So what we had to do when I bought the team, I had to put up 10 more million to secure Herschel's contract. We had the retirement benefits for Cowboy officials. That had not been funded. So as a part of buying the team, you had to fund that. The point was there was a dearth of money, and it was throughout sports. It wasn't just the NFL, but it was throughout sports. And so it's very important to understand how fabulous that the NFL has evolved to where we are such a premier part of the economic scene and of the scene of providing that entertainment really chiefly through television. And of course, we have developed a lot of stadium to help that as well. But it has created an entertainment that it is important to everyone concerned, the future of players. It's important to the futures of coaches. It's important to everybody concerned that what we do right now is put the show on.
That's
just
right.
From that standpoint. Put the show safe, absolutely safe. But prudent to step out here and make this happen. I don't know of anyone at any level in this league. I will start with the staff here. I will go to our players here. I will go to the league as a whole, the owners. I don't know of anybody in the league that you see at a training camp and involved here that doesn't realize how important it is to us to have a season and have these games on. And our fans will benefit from that. That's being motivated, but that's what's at play here. And the way to get this done and how to get the show out here so that we can put these games on and have a Super Bowl champion. All of that is very, very critical from that standpoint. What drives it? The interest that we have from fans all over the country. This should be a great time. It makes our future, if we can solve this problem and do what we want to do here, it really adds to what I want to be a part of for our fans and fans of football in the future. So it's very important that we realize that everybody realizes, let's do what it takes. Let's be diligent about it. There's a lot at stake here to put these games on.
James Slater, NFL Network. This is for all three of you guys, but two questions. One, do you guys have a contingency plan in the event that Mike McCarthy gets COVID, as we saw with Doug Peterson? Second, a football question. What position battles are you guys looking forward to seeing?
Well, I think clearly you have to have a plan for every scenario. That's definitely something we've discussed, particularly in the leadership group, as far as how it pertains to our staff, each position. So definitely we have gone through that process of preparation. And as far as position battles, frankly, I'm looking forward to all of them. I think the depth of our football team, particularly when you watch them go through the workouts, we're going to have, we're going to have a lot of conversations when it comes down to the end there. So, I think we got depth throughout the team, and there'll definitely be battles at every position.
Okay.
This is Michael Gallagher, Dallas Morning News. On the topic of competition, who will be your first team left guard and center to open in training camp? And given the tight window before the start of the regular season and the importance of having the cohesiveness on the offensive line, does that adapt at all? How quickly you need to make a decision there on who your starting five are up front?
Oh, definitely. I think just philosophically, I've always preferred to have your first five practice as much as possible together. I think that's a key component to finding rhythm and consistency in your offensive unit as far as pertaining to a fast start of the season. So yes, definitely, you like to get that locked down. But I mean, Connor Williams at left guard, he's still coming off of the injury, so we'll work him in as camp goes forward. So he's not going to be a totally full go, right out of the gate. Joe Looney's been taking the snaps there with the first unit right now. So, but once again, individuals that can play multiple positions is a priority, especially along your offensive line. So we will work all the different combinations, but the goal would be to get to a five, as soon as we can. But we'll let the process of training camp answer that question.
Who's taking the snaps at center now?
I'm sorry?
Looney. You said Joe Looney.
Looney's taking the snaps at left guard. Who's taking the first team snaps at center?
I said Joe Looney's taking the snaps at center.
Okay, who's taking the snaps at left guard? My bad.
I mean, Connor Williams, McGovern. I mean, all those guys are rolling in there.
Jerry and Stephen, Tori Epstein with USA Today. Y'all told us last season how you felt your roster had the talent to contend and didn't meet your expectations. How would you compare where you view your roster is right now versus a season ago when you felt the talent was there?
You want me to go ahead? I think, personally, I really think we got the job done in the offseason. Certainly, our goal every year in free agency is to try to fill our needs. We certainly lost some good football players. That's part of it when you have a salary cap. But I thought we backfilled well. Certainly had some great acquisitions there in the defensive line with Poe and McCoy. And then I think we followed up that with a great draft. I think a lot of people normally wouldn't have thought we were going to use our first pick on a receiver. But when you're able, to really fill in with some in free agency and get your needs filled, then you can take a pick like CeeDee Lamb. And then you look at, what we did in the draft and free agency. I feel every bit as good about this roster. Jerry and I have been having some great visits with Mike and Will, and I know they feel really good about this roster, as good as they've, felt about most. And as Mike said, I think we got not only good guys in terms of the quality of our starters. I think there's going to be some real great battles out there in terms of the depth on this roster. And, at first, I was a little concerned that we were going to have to pare this thing from 90 to 80, but, that took care of itself with some of the exemplists that we had and some of the guys who opted out and then some injuries. So, it took care of itself. And I just think we got a really strong group of 80 players that Coach McCarthy and his staff can work with. We always say player acquisitions 365 days a year, so we're always looking to get better in terms of the personnel that may be out there. If we see an opportunity to improve or add depth to this football team, we'll certainly do it. But, I feel as good about this team as, personally, my opinion is I feel as good about this team as, any that we've had over the last 5 to 10 years.
Coach, what did you think of
Hey, guys, this is going to be the last question.
Last question.
The 3,000-yard expectation, and how do you feed Zeke if that's the case?
Well, I think first off, like I said the other day, I definitely like the way he thinks. And the reality of it is, you want that excitement. Whether it's your offensive perimeter group or your defensive perimeter group talking about takeaways. So I think it's really a reflection of what's going on here. So just a little time we've had to spend together, you can see the excitement of our perimeter group on offense. And the opportunity to build off of what Kellen Moore and the returning players last year established on offense. But, at the end of the day, it's a new year, new challenges. We definitely have some new things that we've implemented, and our guys are off to a good start. But yes, I as far as putting numbers and expectations on that, to me, that's all part of answering the questions with the media.
I'd like to wrap this up.
Okay.
Hello. I'd like to wrap this up, if I may. I do want to emphasize what a privilege it is. And I think this is a prevailing thread throughout, not only at the very top, at the commissioner's level, but all the way through the ownership level. All of these challenges that we're facing, economic, COVID, the social challenges, all the things we're facing has really reminded us all how precious this thing is we have and the opportunity it has given us all. No one has benefited more from the NFL other than the guy talking to you right here. But what I want you to hear me say is how much I appreciate you guys. I know y'all have been faced with economic challenges as well. I know how businesses are having to look at their expenses and cut back and face furloughs or face potential things. And that's in the back of our mind. And we know that's going on throughout this country. There's a lot of me, as you know, it's hard not to be optimistic and not say, boy, we can do this, let's will it to happen. And it's very hard, and the reason it's hard is I know the hardships that are going on. Not only around here, but the hardships that are going on all over this country. Consequently, the Dallas Cowboys will keep that in mind. We will understand how lucky we are to get to be doing what we're doing, how privileged we are. We will all understand that and show it and we will all understand grace and compassion for people that are having struggle and having issues. Now, the NFL can lead the way with that kind of thinking in my mind. Thank you guys very much. This ends it.
Great. So, you have been watching the Dallas Cowboys training camp presser, where Jerry Jones has spoken for the first time in months. And it seemed like Jerry was truly on his heels. The first questions and stuff went to Jerry Jones. You know, here's what it's a June bug. Okay. Oh, whoa, we turned the lights off here. Okay, let me take care of this business first. Aaron Wojciechowski, because you did the super chat yesterday in the shop. Pick and Pop yesterday, because you did the super chat while we were live streaming there. And Aaron Wojciechowski again, because you did one during the show here. And Junebug. Boom.
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell!
There you go.
Show me the money!
Appreciate all you guys. Appreciate all you guys and everything else for what you guys do. So, I'm just going to give you a couple of little things on here, and then I'm going to probably do a video on the cliff notes of the press conference. But Jerry Jones truly was on his heels. And I tell you, here, let's do this.
Picture if you were a driver of a car and you had a wreck and your hand was almost severed off, but you didn't understand your anatomy. You look down, you're spurting blood, you open the door and run to the woods and either die bleeding to death or shock. The educated man looks down, knows his anatomy, squeezes and knows his best chance is to wait for help. That's because he's been there a lot and done that. And so I'm waiting, I'm squeezing and waiting for help.
Yeah, I'm thinking that he was in that car wreck. Jerry, you know, you're our owner. You've built the Palace in Dallas. Incredible stadium, incredible experience. The team is worth more money than anybody else's ever in the history of sports. But I got to tell you, it felt like you were really on your heels, and the answers that you gave really grace. You know, it basically, he rode the fence. He literally rode the fence and said, you know, we haven't sat down and had time to talk about this. You know, I'm going to be, you know, Grace, I understand about, you know, people that have lost family members and things like that, but also, too, about people, how they feel about the he didn't answer anything on there. No, he really didn't answer anything on it. His whole thing was grace, and then we're going to get together on it. And when he was asked about Don Terry Poe and Gerald McCoy talking about that, his answer was, I hadn't talked to them. You know, this is crazy times that we haven't had a sit-down conversation or anything, you know, with this. So, okay, I get that. You know, your players are your players. You don't have a chance to talk to all your employees, even though they called you out. But then later on, giving back to my notes, Jerry says later on that this offseason, he's done more talking and communicating via Skype and everything else and telephones with the players more than ever before. Did anybody else get that? You said, we've talked to the players and communicated with them about being safe and getting ready for the season and doing all this stuff. You say on one side, I ain't talked to those two guys. On the other side, you're saying, I've communicated with the players this offseason more than any other time before. So which is it? I don't know. I just don't know. But he truly didn't seem like he was prepared to make an answer. He seemed to ramble on about, yes, he is lying. Fly, Eagles, fly. No. I like I said, it was it was just grace that, you know, he should have been a politician almost with that answer, because he went on, and I'm going through I've got a couple of notes here, but, he went on about, again, if you lost family members and, and things like that, and I'm using grace, maybe it should have been compassion more than grace would have been better, that I understand your problem, your issue, and things that you feel oppressed, that you have lost family members and things. I understand your pain. I understand how people feel about the flag. He goes back 2 years ago on towing the line, that was then, this is now. Things have kind of changed. And then you talk about, why you're proud of Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, writing to the Georgia governor to try and help a death row inmate and things, how you understand. So I don't know what to think. I caught those dice too, Mark. So, well, I'm glad. Yeah, he literally said, only God can give grace. What's up, Stuart? How are you doing? Zeppelin fan. Jerry stays neutral. He doesn't want to rock the boat in these heavy seas. Well, and I think honestly, too, that's kind of the edict from the NFL, that the NFL is kind of like, listen, let's try and stay neutral on this. Let's let the players do, I don't know if he's been muzzled by the commissioner. I don't know. I really none of us know. But we know Jerry Jones has avoided the spotlight, which is not Jerry Jones-like. But this did not feel like, past press conferences when we've opened up training camp have been a lot different.
I think that's a part of leadership, is to have some of the guys that have gone before that have been disappointed to share it with everybody involved. For me, it's a reminder. I, too, have been here 23 years. And it is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole. So I have that perspective.
There were no funny moments in here. This was not your typical Jerry Jones training camp and everything else. So from that point, the questions then started going around about Dak Prescott's contract. Dak, as they put it, Jerry said he's one of the most outstanding people he's ever been around at his age. I don't know if where exactly that went. At his age. Okay. He says he is the quarterback of the future, but because of the uncertainty, the unknowns of money, as in, what the revenue is going to be, what the salary cap is going to be. And I kind of thought that myself before, and I kind of said that for Dak Prescott a while ago, that it would have been better for him to take the franchise tag to be sure that you get paid in case there's not a season. Because it could have been, I'm going to hold out and wait till July 15th and, and see if we get the deal done. And then they decide we're going to cancel the season, and you got nothing in place. So, Jerry went on to say that we believe in Dak. We want to get together. Stephen Jones goes through and says, hey, Dak Prescott, he's the guy and everything else. And he used the same excuse that, COVID and where the team will be next year in the NFL, money-wise, is going to be an issue. Another thing, speaking of...
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! Show me the money!
Well, Bobby Murphy, that's not exactly how that works. Jerry Jones has got billions of dollars. Doesn't matter how much he's got in his pocket. Because of revenue sharing in the NFL, everybody gets the same chunk of money. You have a salary cap. Doesn't matter if you got $1 trillion. You can't spend but that $199 million. So saying he bought a yacht instead of paying Dak, it wasn't like he took the money out of the Dallas Cowboys for the salary cap and did that. So that's not it. But Jerry Jones going through doing Jerry Jonesism, that they want to make a safe environment for the fans and the Cowboys and players and the staff and everything else. To me, it's really show me the money, because if you can't do that safely, you can't have a season. So the question was, somebody had said, and I don't know who it was, that as the current moment, Texas rules are 50% capacity for outdoor stadiums. I don't know if that means they open up the roof, that's considered an outdoor stadium. And as Jerry Jones put it, that their facility is bigger than any other facility that you enter on south side versus the north side or the west side, whatever side, that you don't even get anywhere close to each other. And when you think of the club levels where literally, there's twin ones, huge concourses and stuff, they could technically social distance with tables and chairs. They've got 4,000 TVs throughout, so Jerry Jones is talking about you could have a group of 5 here and a group here, and that no stadium is more suited for this type of problem than other ones. I will agree with him on that one. Dak is speaking. What? Oh, whoa. Damn. Shit. Am I messing up? Dak is speaking. Hold up. Hold up. Damn. Hold up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, I've dealt with some weight personally, but everybody in this
will be. Make sure we don't miss Dak. Here we go. Make sure I don't.
Being unable to get a long-term deal.
Here's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. That's my teammate. All right, here we go, yo.
Hey, Dak, I know you said you've been excited about this season. And
everybody not at once.
In the past, I know you said you're excited about this season, and you've shown in the past that the business aspect of this doesn't impact your performance. But was there at least initially some level of frustration with being unable to get a long-term deal, and how does that impact your outlook from a business standpoint going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Business is business, and once I'm in the locker room and a part of this, a part of what's going on now, I don't focus too much about the future, just more about today. And so with that being said, I'm excited as hell to be a Dallas Cowboy. I've been a fan of this organization and been a fan of this program for years. I love every bit of the opportunity and the platform that I get to be the quarterback here. I love this team. I'm excited about what we have, what we can do and accomplish this year. So no frustration as far as that. Once again, I believe something will get done, and with my hopes, I believe I'll be a Dallas Cowboy for the rest of my career. So.
Dak, before we get too far into contract and football questions, we haven't had a chance to speak with you since you and your family lost Jace. Can you tell us for a minute what Jace meant to y'all and how y'all are dealing with that loss?
Yeah, it's tough, obviously. I mean, he meant a lot to my family. He meant a lot to me. He's part of the reason I am a quarterback. When I was a little kid, he's the reason that I first started throwing the football. Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough year. It's been a tough year for me personally. It's been a tough year for my family. It's been a tough year for this country and this world, obviously. So it's all been tough, but I have a great family to count on, to lean on, great supporters here, great teammates, great coaches, people that help me get through it, and him as well. I mean, I know that I've just been I guess, had the obligation to live on and carry on another legacy. So now it's just not my mother, but it's my brother as well. And I'll continue to do that in every walk of my life.
How did that impact or the negotiations at all, or did that kind of distract from the negotiations, having to deal with that and also having to deal with the negotiations?
Yeah, I mean, you can't put those two things together at all. I think that's pretty, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but those don't go hand in hand at all. I mean,
right.
Not at all. So, I mean, yeah, don't necessarily know what you're trying to get at there.
No, just have the weight of that, and also the weight of such a big life decision as far as the contract. I know they're two separate issues, but you still it's still part of the weight of what you're dealing with this offseason, or what you were dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, I've dealt with some weight personally, but everybody in this world has. And that's what you have to look at. You have to go into other people's perspectives. And so, I mean, I think it'd be crazy to just say that the things that have happened to me personally have weighed on me too heavy to make decisions that I need to make, or important decisions and life decisions that I need to make, because I simply just look at somebody else and I realize that I'm blessed. I'm blessed in so many ways that it's not fair to me to count the things that are going wrong and not count my blessings. So that's just kind of my focus. That's my standpoint in life, and I mean, I think that's why I carry faith every bit and every part of my day, is because I'm always looking forward and I'm always thankful for what I have, even in the midst of the things that have been taken away from me. One more time, please.
Dak, how's the conversations been over the summer with teammates and maybe guys on other teams about social justice?
Philly 500.
What guys might do when the season starts during the national anthem?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely conversations, and they've definitely been picking up over the last couple of weeks as we've got this thing rolling. Obviously, not knowing if we're going to have a season, dealing with the whole COVID deal. So now that this is here and we have something to look forward to, and we have games and we have a chance to go out there and show support to our country, that of what we're going through, and acknowledge that conversations are heating up, and we're coming to probably close to a point of what we want to do and the way we want to represent one another, the way we want to represent our team, and the way we want to represent this country.
The commissioner said that the league handled the Anthem situation wrong. I know you saw that. He said, they need to respect Black Lives Matter. Do you anticipate any of your teammates kneeling? Would you kneel, or y'all going to do this? We do everything as a team as you did before, or would it be an individual thing?
It's hard to say, and that's what the conversations are about right now. As a football team, you want to represent one group, and I think that's the best part about football is it represents, in a sense, the country. Different people from different economic backgrounds, different social backgrounds, different beliefs, religion, color. Any way you think of it, a football team has everybody compiled of all kind of different places and backgrounds that they come from, but we all come together for one common goal, and that's to support each other and to go win. So, I mean, I think in anything that we do, we want to kind of represent how we can come together and how we can be as one, and that's what this country needs to be right now. And I think that's what everybody is seeing. Is seeing with the world we're in and the crisis that we have going on right now in our country. So hopefully we can do something all together. But then again, I think this time is more important to listen and not to be personally saying your opinion and personally saying your thoughts, because you have to be able to relate to somebody else's perspective and understand where they come from and understand the differences that you have and that they have. And so it would also be tough just to say that you don't understand why somebody wants to be different and do something that represents their family and represents where they come from and represents their belief.
Dak, some of your teammates expressed some disappointment that Jerry Jones didn't say anything as it related to the George Floyd death or the Black Lives Matter movement. Do you feel supported by Jerry Jones when it comes to racial equality?
I mean, Jerry's always, I mean, I think he came on before me and said a lot about grace, right? And as I just said, I think this was a time to listen. So we've had other people come out and almost bite their tongue on certain things because they're not necessarily listening to what other people did. So in my sense, as I said, I always try to take in somebody else's perspective before I immediately go to judge them. And hopefully that's what he was doing. He was just trying to listen and gather everything that he can before he came out and just said his simple view, because his background, his beliefs, all that is different than a lot of other people. So in a sense, not that he can't relate, but it may be tough for him to relate to what other people may be going through right now. So at a time, I don't think he just wanted to speak with urgent and say something wrong. So, I mean, it's tough. I mean, obviously it's tough, and you want leaders to come out and you want leaders to speak, but you also have to look at their perspective and make and understand maybe why they're doing what they're doing.
Dak, is it fair to say that you would support teammates who chose to kneel even if you chose not to?
One more time, please.
Is it fair to say you would support teammates who chose to kneel even if you chose not to?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, That's what this country is about, right? Is that we all have that choice, and I think that's the greatest part about this country is that we all have that choice. We have the choice to do as we please, whether to kneel, to believe in this religion, that religion, to come from this background and still make it, come from this economic deal or be burdened by the oppression and still overcome it. I mean, it's just obviously, I mean, so obviously. I mean, I support life and I support the good in people. And I think, as I said, that's why I always carry faith in everything that I do. So, yeah, I mean, 100%. I support what anybody's personal opinion.
We haven't got a chance Can you talk about what moved you to get your $1 million donation and then also the letter that you sent to the governor of Oklahoma last week?
Which one do you want first?
Whichever way you want to do it.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously I made a pledge. I made a pledge and not necessarily a donation. I think that's a huge difference because when you pledge, you're saying that you're going to put forth something, not that you're just donating to these people or these people and hope that they put your money in the right place. So when I pledged to go $1 million, honestly, it could be more, it could be way more. I just wanted to make a pledge to say that I'm here and I'm here for the people to help create a better culture within our law enforcement so we can gain that trust. There's no reason, still me as a starting quarterback in the NFL, should be nervous the moment sirens are turned on, but that's just the way it is. But I think that we can somehow shrink or somehow take down that barrier of that nerves or that anxiousness or whatever that may be by bettering our law enforcement. And I don't think the answer is defunding them. I think we need the protection. We need what they offer. But we all know that there is some corruptness within there. And I think it has to start within as anything does when you're trying to get the bad out and create good. So that was my pledge. And with my foundation, Faith Fight Finish Foundation, we're working to create a program to try to get in there with the law enforcement. And it's going to have to come down from the top, obviously, to make some changes. Something that I want to be nationwide, and it's something that may not happen today. It's something that I may not see in my life, but I have all beliefs that it will happen one day, whether it's my kids and the people of the future can be protected and be protected the right way and feel safe about it. And then my letter. I've been blessed with an amazing platform, and a platform to be obviously to be able to touch and to be able to speak and be able to inspire so many different people with my voice that I think it's important, and sometimes I feel obligated to do so. When I was reached out from a group, Scott Budnick and some other guys about the case of Julius Jones, and educated myself, there was just so much wrong within that, so much wrong within his conviction, so much wrong with his trial that I simply felt, as I said, obligated to do something about it and to write a letter and try to make some change with that.
Is it okay to talk about football?
Please, let's do it.
Do you have enough footballs to throw to all these yard receivers and backs?
Yeah, all you need is one, and especially with these guys, there's no egos with them. I mean, from Amari to CD to Gallup, and then obviously Zeke. I mean, none of these guys have an ego, and I think that's the best part about it is they all want to see the other guy have success, but obviously they want to have success, and it's just going to create this amazing, fun environment. It already has. It's already been that way for a couple of weeks as we've been going, and it's just exciting to see that much talent, but those guys care that much about the team and not themselves, that we'll be able to spread it out and make everybody happy.
Specifically, you got your teammates together over this summer. You built a football field in your backyard. Take us through those decisions and how you kept working with your teammates even when you were away from the facility.
One more time, please, Joy.
You got together with your teammates this summer. You had a chance to get a field in your backyard and keep working while you worked at the facility. Take us through those decisions and how you kept working with your teammates.
Yeah, obviously, once COVID came around, it was tough to find a place to throw. It was very tough. So, and obviously, I've always dreamed about having a football field in my backyard. So, that was something that I kind of put the foot down and said, hey, let's get it going. It can give me somewhere every off season, or you can't plan for things like this, but when things like this come around, I'll just be able to have it, and it's obviously private access, and we can get the work we need. So that was kind of the thought in creating that field in my backyard, and it's been very beneficial. I mean, just having the guys out there, being able to throw, being able to get a lot of work, and we're going to hit camp running because we've been working for a good amount of time now.
specifically though about
Dak, can you tell us a little bit about your offseason, what you've done?
Say again?
You look a lot leaner. Can you
Sorry,
talk a little
Aaron.
bit about what
Something
you've done
different.
offseason in terms of conditioning and just mechanically what you've been working on to elevate your game and how those practices with the guys have helped? What have you noticed from being able to get them out in the football field?
Yeah, well, thank you for the compliment. But I honestly can't just pinpoint why I look leaner, and everybody's telling me that. The weight is the exact same. I think age has just been very graceful and helped me out a little bit, put it in some better places. But as far as mechanically, I mean, it's been the same thing. He's been working with John Beck and the guys at 3D QB. Working on my mechanics all off season long, just trying to make sure that they stay right where I want them. And then, obviously, like I said, working with the guys, just being able to have them there and be able to get them to the house and us work on timing and do all of those things. It's been a pretty good
Like
off
the fish
season
analogy.
with everything that's been going on.
Dak, what are your early impressions of Mike McCarthy and how his approach and style might differ from Jason Garrett?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely different, but different's good at times, and I think it is here. I mean, he's done a great job of coming in and bringing some of his tools and a lot of his knowledge to this offense, and I mean, he's a very, very genuine guy, and I think that's the first thing that hit off with the team. When he got in front of the team and he walks around the building, as you feel it, when he talks, you hear it, and then you see it just in his actions. So, I mean, I think that's huge. When you're coaching a football team and when you're being a leader, to be genuine like that, and to be transparent, and that's the way he's been. But his knowledge and the way he can help this offense and the way that he can allow me to grow as a quarterback, knowing all the guys he's coached before, it's nothing but excitement coming from my end, and I know a lot of the guys in this locker room.
Dak, how much interaction did you have with the coaches in the offseason while the whole contract stuff was going on? Did you talk much with Mike, Kellen, Doug Nussmeier? How'd that all work?
Yeah, not much. Not much, to be honest with you. But those are all good guys, good men. They all reached out with the tragic that happened with my family. So obviously messages were exchanged then, and can't thank them enough for the support, for the love that they passed. But at times, I mean, I was able to look over some of the stuff that they were doing and they were installing and putting in. But as direct contact came, it was limited. But there's some continuity, obviously, with Kellen, so that helped for me to have that jump start as I got into training camp and not feel behind.
Yeah, did you give any consideration at any point?
One more time, please.
Did you give any consideration at any point to opting out this season, and whether yes or no, what level of concern do you have about staying healthy over the course of the season?
Yeah, never crossed my mind. Football has always been my safe haven. It's always been a place for me to find peace, especially with everything that's happened in my life personally, especially in the place that this world is in. I think that football is a safe haven and it's peace for a lot of people. So it never crossed my mind to opt out and to not be here with the guys and to not be where I love to be doing what I've been blessed to do. And obviously there's some concerns, but for me, it's just about being as safe as I can, following the guidelines of that the team and the NFL have laid out for us, to not put yourself in jeopardy of contracting this this COVID thing. And so for me, it's just about doing exactly as I said, just trying to stay healthy. I'm not much of a going out guy anyway, so it's been pretty easy for me for the most part.
I know you said it's a business. I know you said it's a business and everything, but are you still somewhat surprised that you don't have your future secured long term?
I'm not a guy that looks at my future, to be honest. I really don't. I mean, I count my blessings each and every day. I walk in the day that I'm given. I rejoice in it, and I'm thankful for it. So honestly, it can sound as cliche and whatever you want to make it think, but I can't look at tomorrow without taking care of today, and that's just the way that I've been throughout my life. That's the way that I have to be even more focused that I live my life this way, as I said, with things that have happened to me personally, things in the place that this world is in, with the crisis we're in, with the COVID, with the social injustice. I don't look too far ahead. I think you get in trouble, and I think you get derailed when you do that. So as I said, I'm blessed to be a Dallas Cowboy, and I'm so thankful, and this is where I want to be. I love my teammates. I love my coaches. Love the support staff and everything that's going on here. So When that time comes again to negotiate and to get back at the table, that's where my focus will be. But as right now, it's not even a worry in my mind or a thought that crosses my head.
So the negotiations haven't changed your view about being a Cowboy for life?
Omni? Yeah, I mean,
plan on moving into the Omni?
Philly
yeah, I'm
500.
already there. As I said,
Fuck
for
you.
me, it's about trying to stay as safe as I can, as healthy as I can, without knowing the true future of where this season's going to go.
Don't go
I think
nowhere.
it's important
Don't go
for,
nowhere. I'm
for us
getting
as
you when we're
players
done
to
here.
try to create the biggest bubble or the smallest bubble, I guess you can say, but a bubble that we can amongst players, because as long as this season gets to play out, I think part of it, the healthiest team wins. So that's something that we've come together as leaders and taken on this option to stay in this hotel just as that. So we can try to stay healthy. We can all be there for each other. We can set an example for the young guys about avoiding downtown or about avoiding the other people and where people can go. Because what's important right now is this football team, this season, and not only our health, but the health of our family. So I think this is the best way that we can make sure that happens.
Philly.
Is the Omni just for camp, or would it be there?
Like, come on, dude.
I want to piggyback. Is the Omni just for camp, or is it for the regular season as well?
Right now we've kind of talked about it as players more just for the camp, but I mean, who knows? I mean, as we go into this season, obviously, hopefully, doctors and people can still give us more updates of what's going on in COVID and going on around not only our area, our community, our state, but this country. So right now we're just going to take it. We're going to take it for the camp, and but it may continue to go on. As I said, I think the healthiest team has one of the best shots to win this. So we're going to do the best that we can to make sure that we put ourselves in that small group.
How many players? Does the lack of preseason games matter?
Preseason of players.
A sense of how many guys?
No, I mean, I would honestly, off the top of my head, I'd say probably 90% of the team, to be honest. I mean, once again, I can't be mad at the guys for the personal reasons, for their family matters, or the things that they may not want to come into the bubble or come into the hotel. But I know and trust that they're being grown men and they're doing the things that they need to do and the things necessary to keep their health safe and to not put themselves in jeopardy of getting this deal and coming in here and giving it to anybody else. So I don't have an exact number. I couldn't tell you even really close to a percentage, but I'd say most of us, honestly, with very few having very good reasons and personal matters that they probably is probably the reason that they won't.
Dak, does no preseason games impact you this season?
No, I mean, and I say no particularly because nobody else is getting them, right? So, I mean, I think that puts us on a fair playing field. Sure, it'd be cool to have them. It'd be great to go out there and to get some few meaningless reps in, as people say. But I know we're going to do a good job here. But getting us those reps, whether it's a little scrimmage or whatever it is, of trying to fast forward this whole deal. But everybody without the offseason, without preseason, it's all even. As I said, I feel like we've done a good job. Me, the receivers, and the skill guys of getting in and getting some work in all offseason. So I'm confident of where we are and where we stand.
What have you thought of CeeDee so far? What have you thought of CeeDee Lamb so far?
Yeah, great guy, great athlete, great player. Excited for his future, excited for now, excited for everything that he can bring this offense and many, many years to come. He's very smart. He's very talented, as I said, and he wants to learn, whether it's following Coop, whether it's asking me questions, whether it's asking MG, whether today I heard him talking about how fun special teams was. He's going to be a great addition to this team, and I think he's going to play a huge role in our success immediately and in the future. So I couldn't be happier with that pick and couldn't be happier with the guy that he is, the young man that he is.
So the negotiations haven't changed your desire to be a Cowboy for life?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, there's reasons probably that they didn't get done from both sides, I guess, but not at all. As I said, I mean, I grew up wanting to be a Dallas Cowboy, and I am. And I've got dreams of being a Dallas Cowboy till I'm done throwing the football. So none of that's going to change just because we couldn't reach an agreement there for this season. But as I said, I'm a Cowboy right now, and that's all that matters. And that's my whole focus.
Dak, you talked with Steven towards the end of or right around the deadline when it was popping up. Do you anticipate being more involved maybe in these talks after the season to make sure something gets done, that this isn't a deal where this could be your last year?
I have a great agent that I trust, and I think whatever happened this year between the negotiations, I think all it did was pretty much bring Steven and my agent probably closer together and seeing eye to eye when it didn't get done near the end. So, if I need to be involved, I'll be involved. But I've got trust in Steven, Jerry, and the Cowboys, and I definitely trust Todd.
Dak, I get that you're not frustrated by the situation, but you always seem to have been a guy that uses doubt to fuel you. Does anything about not getting a deal, add any fuel to your fire?
My fire is burning and my fire is big. You can throw whatever you want in there for it to burn and for it to get bigger. I don't know if I'm necessarily trying to prove something to the Cowboys or to this team, because I feel like everybody in this building, this organization, know the player I am, know the man that I am, know where my heart stands. So I just want to be great. And that's what I do each and every day, is just try to come in here and do the best I can to take another step to being that.
Dak, you won't have Travis Frederick at center. You have a new guy. Obviously, you had Joe in 2018. What are you worried here on the middle of the line this year with some injury questions and replacement questions?
Yeah, no worries. No worries at all. As you said, Joe was the center for 2018, and that was a good year for us. Obviously, we didn't start off the way we wanted to, but as everybody gained trust, as everybody got going and communicated better, we got to where we wanted to be near the end of that season, but obviously just didn't finish how we wanted to. So, there's no worries there. Not at all. I trust Joe. I trust our coaches, and I trust that they're going to have whoever it is that needs to be in there at the offensive line, whether it's filling in for a guy or not, that we'll all be ready. We've got a great group of coaches, here that, as I said, I know I'm excited for, but just talking around the locker room, everybody loves their position coaches, and just the way that they communicate, the way that they have us all on the same page communicating. And I think that's going to be a huge step for this team. Yep. Thank you.
You've been able to stand with McCarthy.
He's like, I'm done.
All right, let's go two more. What is it now?
What are the biggest changes you've seen from the offense last year to this year, keeping Kellen but adding McCarthy?
The biggest changes, honestly, like I just said, communication. I think from the offensive line to the receivers out wide, everybody knows why, and everybody knows their purpose, and everybody knows where they need to be, and the whole point of that within the play. And I think that just gives us all knowledge. We're somewhat of veteran guys, young guys who've played a lot of football earlier in their career, but I wouldn't say that we've been as smart as we've needed to be within the game of football, and I think that's what these coaches have come and added, and just got us all speaking the same language, and I think that's going to be huge. So obviously Kellen's done a great job in the past. He's going to do a great job this year. The way he's taken over and running this thing, it's been fun. Just excited just to get the ball out there and to get this thing going through.
Last question, please.
Dak, how much time have you been able to spend with Mike McCarthy since you've been there? And is there a bit of an element of kind of making up for lost time since you really didn't do much during the offseason?
No, not at all. It's not an element of making up. I've been straightforward in the meetings. He's been there. I've had every day that I've been here to get with him, to learn from him, to take in whatever he's saying, and to put it in my memory box and use it to help me. So, it's been great. As I said, from Coach McCarthy to Kellen, all the way down to all the other coaches, the communication has been awesome. It's going to be a fun year. So, yeah, thank you guys.
You know what? Philly 500.
I fire Howie. Fucking fire him. Motherfucker! Stupid motherfucker! What an idiot! What an idiot! Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. He's stupid. I fire his ass. I fire his ass. I mean, how he's got to be stupid. What are you doing? You just let Dallas take him. You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
That's right. Philly, you don't understand. I ain't scared of you mother humpers. Philly, see, here's what's funny. Here is what is truly funny. Because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I've been here for the last 2 hours, looking forward to my Dallas Cowboys press conference. I ain't watching Carson Wentz's press conferences. I'm not watching your coach. You guys, you are so into the Dallas Cowboys and everything we do. You scared. You literally are here. And why are you trying to come? Oh, Johnny.
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! Show me the money!
Johnny Cabina. Cry Eagles cry. We're going to be doing that drawing. And Philly 500. See, I know you up in here. See, we actually have, for those who actually are trying to social distance away from you Eagles, we've got our new mask. Look at that. Get freaking Philly. And we coming for you, Philly. Philly, brother, we're coming for you. The Dallas Cowboys of 2020 are literally going to be dropping the bomb on you. That's right, Philly. You got the belt right now, but that belt is coming back to the East Coast, brother. We are going to be kicking that Philadelphia Eagle ass. You can think, you can pray, you can hope, but your team is going down, buddy. They are freaking going down. I try to be good. I try to be good. But I'm sitting here trying to take care of my Dallas Cowboys, okay? And here it is. The Eagles, they just want to try and mess with my team. You can't, Philly. Come on. See, Philly 500, Philly. See, I'm high-techy here, okay? I got a new microphone, y'all. Can you tell how crisp the sound is, okay? Can you tell? I got a new microphone here. I got my Stream Deck here so that way I can mess with you guys. See, you want to come in here, I'm going to take care of you. Okay, so back to my team, my Dallas Cowboys, and my quarterback. I got to tell you, the Dallas Cowboys need to hold on to Dak Prescott for PR, for nothing else, just for freaking PR. Did you see how Jerry Jones was on his heel and talking about grace and everything else and literally did the song and dance, but said nothing? That's Cowboy Crunk. What's up, Cowboy Crunk? Crunk, how you doing, man? But literally, it was a snooze fest with Jerry Jones. I mean, seriously, Jerry Jones was literally like this.
Picture if you were a driver of a car and you had a wreck and your hand was almost severed off, but you didn't understand your anatomy. You look down, you're spurting blood, you open the door and run to the woods and either die bleeding to death or shock. The educated man looks down, knows his anatomy, squeezes and knows his best chance is to wait for help. That's because he's been there a lot and done that. And so I'm waiting, I'm squeezing and waiting for help.
And you know the help that came? It was Dak Prescott. I got to tell you, Dak, to me, Dak looked cool. Dak was happy. Dak was smiling. He was in there. And see, he danced too. Dak danced the party line too. Up, Troy Daniels.
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! Show me the money!
Troy Daniels. Thank you very much for that, man. Dak didn't say if he was going to kneel or not kneel. He didn't. But see, you didn't have that same feeling that you had with Jerry Jones. You know, he basically said, hey, this is the time to listen. You know, Jerry Jones, he's out there. He wants to, you know, they basically were trying to put him on blast and trying to see if he'd put a foot in Jerry Jones's ass. And as he put it, hey, it's time to listen. You know, Jerry Jones doesn't want to say something that he's going to regret. So you're very careful with your words. See, Dak Prescott had the opportunity to put the Cowboys on blast between the contract, between social injustice, as he put it, but he didn't. His whole thing, hey, look, you know, I'm going to take some of the responsibility of the contract situation, you know, me and my agent and the Cowboys as well. He did not put them on blast. He actually shedded them and made them look a little bit better by not blaming him. See, there's a difference. I want you to think about what Dak Prescott just said versus Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson went to them after he had been paid a couple of contracts, went to them and said, if you do not pay me a long-term deal by the 15th of April, I will never sign a long-term contract with you. That's what Russell Wilson said to Seattle, and they got it done on the 15th. Dak didn't do that. Dak didn't even throw him under the bus after the shit fest that just happened. So, as he put it, business is business. And I realized, listening to this press conference, one of the reasons why I like him so much. Because his outlook on life is things that I say when I'm out there doing the fireside chat are exactly what he said. Eric Lee.
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! Show me the money!
Eric Lee, love Dak, football player, but he's playing both ends against the middle. But see, the thing is you kind of have to play both ends of it. Here's the problem, Eric. I appreciate the super chat on that. The problem is right now we have people whose minds are closed once you say something. You have to understand that people have the whole opinion of, we can't have a conversation. You're either with me or against me, and if you're against me, fuck you. But what you have to do is you have to educate people without them realizing they're being educated. For him to go through and say, hey, I'm a starting quarterback for America's team. Yet, if I got a police siren behind me, I'm scared shitless like any other black man. That is having somebody else hear your fears and your cause. That's not in your face. It's being able to get somebody to empathize with you. And that's the problem. You know, it used to be you could have a conversation with somebody else and it would say, hey, I don't agree with you, but I'll listen to you. Right now, we don't have people that'll even listen to you. So you have to parse your words to get your foot into the door. Alan Fuentes.
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money!
Thank you very much for that super chat sticker. Friday we'll be drawing for some more of the draft glasses. So that's where, yeah, he's kind of riding the fence, but you got to understand, this is my job. This is the media. This is also where I actually make most of my money through endorsements. So you do have to kind of ride the fence. But let's make no mistake about it. He educated us on the difference of donating and pledging, because he's putting his money where his mouth is. He says, I've pledged $1 million, once I see what a plan is. I'm not just giving $1 million to the police department. I want you to come up with a plan, and if the plan's good, I'll put in more money. Okay? So when you say, he's not doing anything, you know what? There's a lot of people that are talking, but there are not a lot of them that are putting money behind it. There's a big difference. A big difference, okay? 99 cents per row. Mark, I give it back. He can do – oh, come on, man. Listen, jackass. You don't know what his financial situations are. You don't know. So stop, man. I appreciate – you know what? I appreciate people just liking the channel. What did Philly 500 run off? I don't see Philly. Did Philly 500 run off?
Did anybody know? Did anybody just watch? Am I the only person? Do I speak dog?
Yes, you do.
Rough, mother humper. Rough, mother humper. Rough, mother humper. Rough, mother humper. Mother humper. I mean,
this is where I was saying earlier.
What is Carr supposed to do? Urge
Okay.
drop
Should
the
have
ball in
taken
the
a
end
field goal
zone.
earlier. Now the only thing.
So I understand the position that he's in on that. But back to one of the things I was saying about him. Every day I go out to my fire pit, usually rain, sleet, or snow, and I reflect on life and reflect on that day, because when today is over with, it's over with. And I know that I have less days ahead of me than I do behind me, and I don't want to waste that day. You know, it's great to plan for the future down the road, but there's no guarantees that you're going to have those days down the road. So that's where he's like, you know, I'm not worried about the contract. Okay, I'm okay right now. After losing my mother, after losing my brother, I live in the day to do everything I can in each of those days. And that's just like, damn, that's some of the shit that I say. Talking about the team and the bubble. That was another one of those things that I loved hearing. He didn't say exactly how many, but he's saying somewhere around 90% of the guys that they're doing this at least for training camp, and they'll see where it goes because they want to make sure that they are, you know, in the best position as they can. And as he put it, something I've said, if you can keep Rona free, you're going to have an advantage over everybody else. And the fact that he also took the initiative to say, and this is probably, we may want to thank TMZ, Alan Williams.
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money!
There you go.
Show me the money!
I had to drop bombs on Philly and his quarterback. Oh, you want to drop a bomb? There we go. There we go. Okay, so we dropped the bomb on Philly. And you know what, Philly 500, you know what? This is what I feel right now.
Is enough! I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Everybody strap in.
That's right.
I'm about to open some fucking windows.
Dave, Philly, you the snake. You the snake, Philly. Philly, you the snake. Waylon Smothers, were you a channel member or channel subscriber? Because I don't see the membership thing. The shot glasses are the channel members, and if you're a channel member, you end up emailing me and letting me know. Blue Virus.
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! Show me the money!
Troy Daniels, I appreciate that much. Thank you so much. It's all good fun. So I don't know how many. Actually, Philly. Maybe you can answer this one, Philly. Philly. And probably this is because TMZ. You know, when TMZ was going after the Cowboys because they were working out and everything else, and, you know, the NFL should come down hard. Dak builds a football field in his backyard. Okay, all right. I'm at home. And they work out. And as he put it, you know, we've had time to kind of get together and get ready to hit the ground running. Did Carson Wentz build a field at his house, Philly? Philly 500. Did Carson Wentz build a field at his house for his teammates to come over to work on? Did he? I'm just wondering. Did he, Philly? Omar, Thank you for letting me know that Dak was on, man. I owe you. I owe you, bro. I owe you, okay? Thank you. Yeah, so another thing that was interesting that I heard from Dak there is that CD, you know, CD, you know, Philly, do you know who CD is, Philly? Hey, Philly, 500. In case you didn't know, we drafted a wide receiver. We drafted a wide receiver. His name is CD Lamb. I don't know if you've heard of him or not, but this guy, they say might be pretty good. But this guy is actually talking about how much fun special teams are. Can you believe, if Philly, have you heard of him? CD Lamb? I know he's not like, you know, the guy you got Jalen Reagor or anything, but yeah, that guy. CD equal, okay, you know, I'm still trying to understand. Thank you, Omar. Well, we love you too, man. I'm still trying to understand why all these Eagle fans like to live on my channel. I just don't understand it. It is craziness that literally I heard he wants to be like Cooper and put himself out the game in the division. Oh, okay. You know, let me remind you one more time, Philly. I think you know who I'm talking about. I think you know.
I fire Howie. Fucking fire the motherfucker! Stupid motherfucker! What an idiot! What an idiot! Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. He's stupid. I fire his ass. I fire his ass. I mean, Howie's got to be stupid. What are you doing? You just let Dallas take him. You.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Renee Ramirez, thank you very much for that super chat in there. We'll do another drawing on Friday night. Actually, we'll do 2 drawings on Friday night and stuff on there. So, Philly, why you want to see, Philly? I know you don't want to mess with me, dog. You know, again, see, we're doing improvements here that when you want to come in here and try and troll me, I'm gonna get you, buddy. I'm gonna get you. I know you're still trying to figure out how to use that one computer, you know, and that's your slow ass internet, dude. Upgrade your shit, man. You're living like 20 years ago, okay? If an old ass man who literally the first computer I used, this is how old I am, Philly. I am so old that when I went to JMU, the computers we worked on did not have a monitor. They had a dot matrix printer that printed out the response. It was like, zzz, 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 zzz. Okay, then you got to pull the paper off. Oh, 5 times 5 is 25. Okay. Okay. Oh, you learned how to reset the router. You really are a dingbat. See, Philly, you know what's amazing is I can easily just go like this.
Breathing exercises, some meditation. And I guess it worked pretty well because I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I ruined my dress.
That's okay.
My cycle ended 3 days ago. I shouldn't look like this. It's taking over more and more.
Maybe you can lay down for a bit. We can see.
I've been trying to lie down for the past hour. I took a handful of melatonin. I still can't even sit still, okay? I don't know what's happening to me.
Okay. Hey. It's gonna be okay.
Do you really want me to go out looking like this? We should never agree to this. This was a bad idea.
Hey, no, these kind of things are bound to happen from time to time. Okay, we knew the risks going in. I didn't mean.
I really don't think you do know, Peter.
What are you saying, Morgan? We're in this together.
Okay, let's fuck right now, like this. Hope you don't want to travel.
We can go on road trips.
And I guess we're going to be sitting at home a lot drinking because good luck sneaking me into a bar.
We can go to Leshy's.
And, we'll be able to co-sign on a house or a car or get married.
Eloise.
What about kids? Yeah, I know you think about it all the time. It's hard to grow a fetus when your uterus disappears every other day.
We can try. And maybe you'll stay a woman once your body...
It won't work.
You don't know that.
I really do, Peter.
Burgundy and gold all day. Boom. Oh, man. Listen, man. Look, these are just jokes, man. They're just jokes, okay? We just having fun here, man. Look, are you not excited? Listen. And shout out to the Eagles, okay? You got your coach back. He got off the Rona. He got off the Rona, so now he's back working with his team and everything. So, it's all fun. And anybody out there that thinks that it's really war between me and Philly 500, actually, it is war, but we're friends, too. It's a friendly war. Just like with my cousin yesterday, if you guys saw me over at his house taking care of the roof leak and things for him because he's got a rookie leak and a leaky roof and don't know how to fix it. I'm taking care of it. But we had an old school trash talking. And see, that's half the fun of football is having this friendly trash talking, not the hate. We get people that come in here that are just assholes. And excuse my language. I don't have time for those. But friendly banter back and forth. It's cool. And DMV, man, are you getting back on YouTube or not, my man? DMV, I need you, man. We can we can do this stuff, social distancing here. I can put you on the screen over here. I can put you on the screen over there. We can do this shit, man. And we're going to definitely still have a few game parties. We got the space outside. We can socially distance. We get our chicken wings on and we can watch football. So do you guys like the new tricks? Do you like the new tricks? 5 Super Bowl, Washington football has 3, Giants have 4, Eagles, womp, 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 womp. I only have 1. You're right about that, Austin Miss Sports. But yeah, so seriously though, I don't wish bad on it. Well, okay. I wish bad on the Eagles team winning, but I don't wish them to go ahead and, have people sick and die. Victor!
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! Show me the money!
Victor, thank you very much for that super chat. I'm glad so you're the one that enjoys the channel. Oh man, I appreciate it. Hey, and also, okay, now seriously, here's what you need to do because we've got like we have YouTube royalty up in here, okay? We got DMV Fanatic. Sometimes he's on, subscribe to his channel. We got Cowboys Crunk. Crunk and DMV both have been here in my house, sitting on the couch right over there, okay? Definitely take care of Cowboy Crunk too. Hopefully he's going to be getting back into the swing now that we're getting closer and everything else. Then there's my man, Jet D. Go on Instagram. Native Meats, okay, Native Meats. Like he's gonna make you hungry. Waylon Smothers, man, welcome to the Joe Boo crew. Make sure you email me CowboysMark, dude, right now. Email me CowboysMark94@gmail so I can get you your shot glass. Now it's your channel member because Mike's packing some stuff up right now. And of course we have the anti-Dallas Cowboy YouTuber, okay. Burgundy and Gold fan all day. Formerly the man that was known as Skins fan all day. Definitely. He does some funny live streams. You can actually go on his live streams. You can actually stream in and you can be part of them, tell him how much his team stinks. And then we got Philly. Tony Daniels. Update. Oh, Tony. Okay. Make sure you email me and let me know that you became a tailgate member so that way we can get your rack and your set of 4 shot glasses. Thank you very much for joining right there. But then there is...
You know what, Mark?
Your subscribers, I keep having to look out the window. They're coming with pitchforks to burn my ass at the stakes. I could say Mark Holmes this, Michael Anthony, where's the finish this? They don't care. But boy, putting that logo on that belt, they're ready to kick my ass. They're ready to kick my ass. They take it so serious.
And make sure you go to that guy right there. You subscribe to that channel. And you go over there and tell him how much his team stinks. Okay? You make sure. Wait, you mean there's no, there's Washington football team, DMV. Washington Look, oh my God, we got a Washington diehard fan. Yeah, how do y'all feel being nameless? I mean, seriously, how does that feel? Not having a name. I'm just curious. Time for Philly 500. Oh, Dark Star. Oh, okay. You talking about retaliation? Oh man, after you came after me, man, we got everybody up in here. Okay, but seriously though, this is all jokes. I mean, seriously, it's all jokes, kind of like the New York Giants. Just jokes, man. Just something to laugh at, something to pass the time, and have fun with. You know what I'm saying? But in all seriousness now, I feel good about where our team is. I'm going to probably do a video later on going through all the notes because, see, look, I go to work. You guys think that, you just show up, put a camera on, and that's YouTube. But look, these are all these sheets. These are the notes I took watching the press conference here. I know it looks like chicken scratch. And no, Philly, I'm not sacrificing any chickens, okay? Only you birds. Look at that. These are all my notes on everything that went on, and I'm going to dissect this stuff and go through. But I love the fact that Dak got that field built at his house, that the players came through there, they're working together. To me, it looks like his mind is right, unfortunately losing his brother. But as he put, basically the football field is a sanctuary. And knowing that, you got to feel that he is on a mission for his brother, for his mother, for his contract, for his teammates, and for his own sanity. And I really and truly am happy about that, and I just can't wait. I'm just hoping that they can continue doing everything that they're doing to keep this season on schedule. It's only for this year, laugh out loud. I tell you what, Washington diehard fan, I did a video last week. I actually went over to that toxic waste dump of yours, FedEx Field, because I wanted to actually see the new logo. I figured they'd start decorating the stadium or something on it. I couldn't find the temporary logo anywhere. Everywhere I went, I saw the Chief. It's still exactly the way it was before. So I'm wondering if they're going to make a rush the last, month here and make a change on the stadium on the outside. If they're just going to say, we're so cheap, we're not even going to do that. We'll just wait till we get a new logo. I'm just wondering if that's going to be the case. Diehard Cowboy fan, 32 years strong. There you go, man. So at least you've seen some of the glory years, Nico. I am 54 years strong, and I've seen every one of their Super Bowls. Whew. And hope to see another one again real soon. But anyway, it's 2 o'clock, and I got some work I got to do up in the shop. I got some racks and things I got to build and everything. The Geist incident. Whoa, man. That isn't even fun to talk about. That brother got some real issues. Well, Tony, thank you very much, man. I'll make sure Michael Anthony gets on it because he's packaging some stuff up right now as we speak that's going out. But everybody, I appreciate you all being here. What we'll do on Friday, we'll be doing drawings. Everybody who's done super chats and stuff, we've been giving away some of our glasses here, our Get Philly. And one's going to an Eagle fan, believe it or not, okay? We'll be giving those away again. And also, too, I'll probably be giving away some of the masks like this as well. So I'm very, very proud of our masks, okay? All right, you guys, let me just put this last little quote here from an Eagle.
When it all comes down to it, how do I deal with trolls? Fuck them. Fuck them. I mean, I'm a grown-ass motherfucking man. You know what I mean? I'm going to take fucking a line from Mark Holmes' fucking video. I'm a grown-ass fucking man. You know what I mean? My fucking car is paid off. I got beautiful, loving, supporting-ass fucking family. Friends, rather. I have my own goddamn, like apartment. Hey.
All right, everybody. I will be seeing you guys later.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.